Hello everyone, my name is Josiah, and today I'm going to be talking about The Godfather, but not in the way that you might think. I'm going to be talking about what The Godfather has to say about the American dream. So about a month or so before I watched the movie for the first time, I was on my Letterboxd account and I saw a friend of mine had posted a review for the movie, and it said, "The American dream has been and always will be corrupt. The fact that it's coming from an American classic says it all." And my hit friend posted his review, so I decided to send him a text and to kind of get more of his thoughts about it. And what he was telling me was that in the movie, Michael Corleone wants to turn his family's mob into a legitimate business. At one point in the film, the Don has a meeting with some of the other heads of the other families, and they're talking about the future. They're talking about peace, and some of the other guys want to start getting involved in the drug trade and allowing shipments of drugs to be passed through and kind of being like a middleman of sorts. And the Don doesn't really think that's a good idea. He doesn't want to get involved in drugs, but they were telling him that's the future, that's the way that things are going, and if you want to stay in the game, if you want to be successful, you have to have an open mind, and you have to kind of start allowing these sorts of things. And he's telling me that Michael wants to turn his family's mob into a legitimate business, but the surrounding corruption within the police department, some of the other families, and even the politicians quickly tell him that that's not really going to happen. That if he's going to be successful, he has to be as shady and corrupt as everybody else. And I thought that was quite interesting. I know that we also talked about how The Godfather isn't the only piece of media that kind of talks about this. We talked about Breaking Bad and how Walter White is a high school chemistry teacher who finds out he has cancer, and he wants to set his family up financially so that they're taken care of when he passes away, but a high school salary isn't really going to cut it. And after participating in a ride-along with his brother-in-law, who's a DEA agent, Walter White discovers that people who make and sell crystal meth actually make a lot of money. And because crystal meth is essentially basic chemistry, Walter White sees that as his ticket to success. And yes, he's doing it to provide for his family, and that's a good reason. However, over the course of the show, he not only begins to lose sight of that goal and that reason, but he also starts to lose himself in the process. And I think Michael is similar to that in a lot of ways. I mean, at the start of the film, he doesn't want anything to do with his family business. He doesn't like the fact that his father's the Don. He doesn't like the family business at all. He, went away. He joined the military, and this might not be significant or not, but I noticed that the woman he's engaged to at the start of the film isn't Italian. Maybe this is a signal or a sign that says that he just wants to remove himself as much as he can from his family or his family's systems because he doesn't want to get involved. Unfortunately, though, because of the love that he has for his family, when his father was attacked, Michael wants to retaliate. And his father even says to him that he didn't want that for him. He didn't want his son to be, especially Michael, to be the next Don. He didn't want him to be involved in the family business. He wanted him to go off and be a politician and be a governor and maybe even be the president. And that was going to be his definition of success, not the family's definition of success of being a superpower in the community as the Godfather. And the most interesting thing to me was that I had just read a passage in the Bible as part of my devotional in Philippians 3, where the Apostle Paul says that he considers all of his gain as a loss compared to the worth of knowing Christ. He goes on to say that he had suffered the loss of all things for the sake of Christ, and he counts them as rubbish. And I just think that this mentality, this lifestyle, is just the complete opposite of the American dream. And though to me, he's not saying that it's wrong to want to provide for your family and that you shouldn't do it, and he's not saying that it's wrong to want to be successful in all of your endeavors. Both of those are good things. He's just saying that not to go down that path, not to risk losing yourself and hurting other people for the sake of success, for things that, at the end of our lives we can't take with us when we die. Both Michael and Walter White ended up going down that path, wanting to be successful. Both of them at the start of it, they were good people. They didn't want, they would never think about getting involved in criminal activity, but because they wanted to be successful, because they wanted to take care of their families, because they loved their families, and because their harsh reality is that going the straight path is really hard, they resorted to cheap and illegal means in order to get their success. And I thought that was a good example of how sometimes we can get caught up in the wrong things for the sake of our family, despite our best efforts to go our own way or to stay out of it. But that brings us back full circle to this idea and the concept of the American dream. On the surface, it does seem like it's equal for everyone, that everybody has a fair chance, when the reality is it's rigged, it is corrupt, and so many people are willing to cheat their way to success because it seems like the right way, it seems easier. And some people, they feel like that's the only option, because the truth is playing by the rules gets you nowhere in their mind. But what about you guys? What do you guys think? Have you seen Breaking Bad? Have you seen The Godfather? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.